The Grow My Cleaning Company podcast helps owners of cleaning companies just like you to grow your company and yourself so you can make more money and finally get the time and money freedom that probably got you into this business. Discover how to automate and create systems that allow you to grow like crazy without losing control. If you dig the show and want to show some love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. It really helps. Enjoy the show.
Hello, Cleaning Nation. This is part 2 in a 2-part episode. If you missed episode 1, go back to the previous episode and check it out, and then enjoy this episode number 2.
But say this thing that I want, a house, some training, a car to pay off debt, costs a fixed amount of money. So I understand I'm rich, but I still don't have that fixed amount of money. Therefore, I can't go forward in life, right? If I could just pay off this debt, then I could move forward. If I could buy a nicer car, then I could move forward. If I could invest in this training, then I could move forward. If I could X that costs money that I don't have, then I could move forward. How would you coach or encourage that person?
Well, first of all, make the decision. What is it that you want? Okay, because we can go through life and we can say, well, I can't afford all of this stuff. Maybe one day I'm going to wish and hope and, think good thoughts. And trust me, I'm a mindset coach. Stuff takes more than just good thoughts. You have to act on inspiration, which is another higher faculty, right? What if you say to yourself, I want this car, I want this better house, I want to be able to further my education so I can do better in my business. If you state it, and that's the start, you state, I want this, then your mind goes to work because you've told it what you want. So then you receive inspiration. Hello, higher faculty. What am I guided to do? What's my thought? And we can shut that thought down and say, that's just stupid. Or we can say, let's use reason and let's explore the thought. We can use will. Will is another higher faculty. Gosh darn it, I'm going to get this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to hold it. Will. I'm going to hold it on the screen of my mind to the exclusion of anything else.
And again, always playing the devil's advocate, we can do that the opposite. Breaks my heart when I talk to people that are like, I want to change my life. We'll spend 20 minutes on talking about the pain and suffering they've created for themselves. And we'll give them a solution that takes time, money, stepping out of their comfort zone, doing something that they're uncomfortable with. And the vision, the will that they hold is it's too hard. They'll fight like hell that I'm not strong enough. You don't understand. I don't have any money. I was raised broke. My people don't support me. No one wants to work. They can just go on and on and on. And I'm like, if you just had that kind of creativity and commitment to all the reasons that you could make this happen, it would have already, we can clearly see why you're here. You're so committed to that. It's almost like if Suzanne and I got in an argument or a fight and I was just committed to settle her hash and show her who was right. And just no matter how sweet and kind and loving she may be and want to reconcile, if I am just committed to teaching her what's what, the relationship's going to die. No matter how sweet and kind Suzanne is, and no matter how beautiful of a relationship we could have, if I'm just committed to Suzanne's a terrible hurt person, she hurt me, this is it's unforgivable, it's irrevocable. Even if she's sitting there going, I love you, I'm here, let's reconcile. It's over. She can't overcome that. If I'm so freaking committed to my not having that. So if I focus on what a terrible person she is, doesn't matter what the reality is. If my will is that she's bad and I'm good, that's the end of that. But if my will, even if she's struggling because I'm a jerk, right? And my will is to reconcile and whatever, that's just gonna be so attractive. So I want to just encourage you do have that will. And again, it's a double-edged sword. You can cut your own legs off with it by fighting like hell for your limitations of why this won't work and whatever. And I know that's more comfortable, and you'll win the battle. And you'll be able to go, see, Mike, I told you I'd never be rich. I told you I'd be broke. I told you I'm stuck being miserable. And sometimes we feel that like we just won't let it go. Or we can go, all right, I'm going to give that up and I'm going to have a different will. And again, we look at the opportunity for, I don't have any money. Well, I'll be honest with you, having coached a lot of folks, I get a little yellow flag when people are like, oh, I got the money. It's no big deal. And they can just write a check and it doesn't cost them anything. I shouldn't say it doesn't cost them anything, but in their life, it doesn't make a big difference. Suzanne knows as well as I do, sometimes we got to drag those people to their own success. But the people that are like, I had to get creative. I had to figure it out. I had to sell something. I had to change, before they even are able to start, their barrier was higher. They really do have an opportunity. I know it doesn't feel like an opportunity, but from the people that can kind of see both sides of it, it's a massive opportunity. But if your will is to be committed to what's comfortable, even if it costs you your life, you'll never know. And if your will is, I got to change this, especially if it's comfortable, then not only do you get the reality you want, but you get to build that muscle. Like it's going to the gym is, if you could magically wave a wand and give someone muscles, like I can't go to the gym. I don't know how to do any exercises. Like they want you to wave the wand and get them the muscles, but what they miss is the going to the gym is what they really need. The muscles are just something that looks nice. The discipline is what they really needed. And we miss that opportunity.
Right. Yeah. Or lose the weight.
Yeah. Or same thing. Yeah. It's if you could just, and again, I've been overweight and my wife's like, why not just get liposuction? We got money. I'm like, cause it wouldn't freaking be you know what I'm saying? Like to what end? A, I'll just get fat again. And B, I'm missing the real opportunity is to go, this is an area of my life that I'm mastered by. And if I'm going to be successful, I need to have some dominion over my life. Right. And, waving the magic wand is not going to solve the problem.
Well, you see, Mike, that's why I love the conversation. Of course, my whole being is I move to the positive. However, you are 100% correct. Will, let's talk about the higher faculty of will, because all of these things can be used for, dare I say it, the dark side.
1,000%.
Okay, so your will, oh my gosh, strong will, you can fight for your limitations forever. You don't understand. This is my life. This is my way. This is the way it is. This is why nothing will change. Or you can say, wait a minute, I'm not happy. Right? If someone is happy, as you would say, God bless you, live your life. We're all different people. We all have the right to travel different roads. However, the key is, if you are not happy where you are, I encourage everybody to look at the higher faculties, to say, what can I look at differently? What can I change? And are you committed to change? And step number one is make the decision. And once you start on the road, does it mean it's always easy? No. Does it mean you don't go backwards and you start to think about the old thoughts? Of course you do. They're ingrained in you. But it helps to have someone else. Enlist a partner. Join the program, go to your spouse, go to your friend. Enlist a partner to say, this is the new way I want to be thinking. This is my new goal. Help me stay on track.
And let me encourage you. One of the things I love is we get to see both sides, like the pre-success and then post-success, and then the people that take the actions that get the success and the people that take the actions that keep them where they're at. And it's a little different, obviously, because we get paid. So I don't want to say are forced to, but because we're paid, we choose to stick with people longer. Like your spouse, if they come to you and say, help me lose weight, and 3 times into going to get bad food, and they're like, hey, you said you don't want bad, they're going to give up, right? Because they're humans, right? If you pay somebody, a coach, he might stick with you 10 or 20 times, but at some point he's going to give up. So we talk about, if you just make a decision, like the world kind of bends to your reality. And I know that sounds very woo-woo, but I found that to be the case. But there's a perfect example when I say I want to change, and maybe I'm talking with Suzanne and she starts asking me questions, and I just keep committing to why it won't work and how it's stuck and you don't understand. Suzanne's amazing. She is better getting transformation than just about everyone I've met. But eventually she's going to go, I can't drag this person to their own success, right? Like I'm going to invest my time where there's a return. And this guy is just really committed to his own misery. And that's that. And she's going to move on. And maybe I've got all the money in the world, whatever. Say she's selling some sort of program of some sort. And I got all the money in the world, but I'm so committed to this isn't going to work. I mean, I guess it depends. If Suzanne's more money motivated, she might take it. If she's more results motivated, my money's no good with her, right? The flip side is, and I know we'll fight like heck for people that are broke, but I really believe, like, I want to change. I want to do it. So just know that whether it's a paid coach, a spouse, a friend, a free coach, whoever the relationship is, if you keep fighting for your limitations, eventually the bad, and you go, I've got nothing but bad influence. I've heard that the average net worth or happiness or income of my 5 closest friends is mine. Well, guess what? If you ran off all the people that wanted to help by commitment to your own crazy or commitment to your own failure, guess who's left? The people that are also going, yeah, my people quit too. Oh, they're the worst. And then you're like, why is everyone so negative? It's like, well, I don't know. Let's start with the guy or the gal in the mirror. All right. We've invested a lot of time and we haven't talked intuition or memory or imagination. I'm dying to hear them.
Okay. Memory, just really quickly, I'm not even going to go into it because there's a lot of books out there on memory. They're going to teach you. Okay, this is the mindset moment I want everyone to have. Be aware, what words are you saying? Do you ever say, I have to write that down because I will forget? Or do you ever say, I never remember people's names? See, it happened again. That's a story you're telling yourself. There's no reason you have to be in that boat. Pick up a book on memory, and there's some really fun things that you can do for that. The same way with intuition, listen to your inner guidance.
Let's save that one for the last, because I'm most interested in that, because
I want to do imagination though.
Yeah, well, I'm like, all right, so we could do it. That's what I'm saying. I want to hold them intuition because I've got lots of questions about that. Not that one's more important than the other, but
okay.
I love the memory. And just talk to a police officer who's ever done any sort of crime scene and talk to somebody or 7 different people that saw the same thing. Mm-hmm. There is no reality. It's your perception of reality and how you choose to relate with that. So talk imagination. And then I've got lots of questions on intuition because I think that's my big fat blind spot. And I know it's important. So, well, you talk either imagination or intuition, but okay, I have questions on intuition.
Let's quickly do imagination.
Okay.
That's where if you make the decision, you say, I'm not happy with, let's say, the way things are going in my business right now. There's something in particular. And you make the decision, it's going to change. You're using reason. I'm going to do something different. One of the biggest ways you can help hold the will to stay on track is use your imagination for where you want to go. Okay? Your imagination is not where you are right now. I always use Walt Disney. Disney World was first in his mind. Did he have the property? No. Did he have all the ability to do it? No. Did he have the money to do it? No. But the picture got so big that he attracted the people, he attracted the things he needed, and he was able to create Disneyland and Disney World. Wow.
My big overreaching takeaway from all of this is when we first started, I thought you were going to say, hey, here's the 5 senses that we use, and that gets us one place. But if you use these higher, what did you call them? Higher faculties. If we use these, we can get a different result. I've shifted in the time that we've talked. I think I've got a much clearer perception. What you're really saying is these 5 senses we're going to use, obviously. These higher faculties we're also using. We are all imagining. Fear and anxiety are imagining the IRS auditing us, people quitting, all these terrible things. And then when we, of course, who would ever hire somebody or if you're investing in your own business, we imagine losing that money because we've lost it before. So I think the big shift I've made has gone from, I want to start using these higher faculties to, I'm already using these higher faculties. Am I using them to serve myself and others, or am I using them to kick myself in the soft bits? So all of these, I think we're already using. So it isn't start using, it's start paying attention to how you use them. And are you using them to get you away from where you want or towards? Because I don't think you can use any of these to stay still. I think you're always using them to move farther away or towards the life that you want. We just haven't recognized. Is that fair?
Perfect. Yes.
All right. Now let's talk. And by the way, imagination. I didn't want to underemphasize it. It's so important. I just feel like I'm good at it. So selfishly, and by the way, that's so true. If you're going to picture something that you want. If you picture what you don't want, you're going to get whatever you picture what you want. That said, so super important. Don't hear it not important. Hear the selfish host wanting to talk about what he's not good at, which is intuition. I'm dying to hear.
Okay. Tell me what you want to know about intuition.
I don't know anything. It seems like my wife has it. Other humans have it. I feel my belief, which I'm wildly open to changing because I don't think it serves me, is I'm the super logical guy and I've got some real strengths in one end, but like logic and kind of critical thinking is different or on the opposite end of intuition. Not that one's less or more valuable, but if you're strong one, you're going to be weak another. And I'm like, I feel like I have no intuition, and I don't think that's a truth. So I'm dying to hear what it is and how I tap into it.
Okay. Intuition is that little voice in your head. Sometimes people hear things, sometimes people see things.
Do they feel things, or is it always
you can feel it as well? Okay. And you get this thought, this idea. Maybe you're talking to someone and you get, wait a minute, they're not with me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's intuition.
Okay. So
okay, my guess is, Mike and everybody listening, you're using intuition, you just don't always acknowledge it. Okay, so you get the realization, there's nothing said, but you get the realization, I'm talking and this person isn't listening anymore. So
any of us that are married, we may have experienced that, just saying.
So you stop and you address it. I'm sorry, I feel like you've gone to a different place. I'm sorry, what was I saying? What would you like me to say? Right? So talk about it. The intuition of, I think that I should probably talk about this, right? When you're doing, maybe you walk into a meeting, you've got an agenda, but you've read the room, or you're getting the feeling that, you know what, I should probably just sidestep and talk about this for a minute because somebody wants that.
How that, even for my kind of limited ability here, I think that all makes sense. I'm like, okay, I can grasp onto that. But again, with the good and the bad, I guess my fear, my feeling is all intuition isn't good, right? Like I might have an intuition that really comes from my fear. You know what I'm saying? Like my fear. So perfect example with you and I, and you're so sweet, it would be hard to do this, but you might say something and I have an intuition like, oh, she was really angry with me, or she was disappointed. You know, I might start making up stuff that's not true, and B, not helpful.
That's not intuition.
Okay.
That would be your monkey mind.
So how do you know the difference between
intuition is always a feel-good thought.
Okay. So if they don't like, but so I'll give you an example. My wife, I think, has a more developed intuition than I.
Sorry guys, typically women do.
I have found that to be the case. Hate to just be sexist. We all have our strengths. You need a tree stump moved out. You know, typically a dude's going to be better. You want some thought or something a little more nuanced. A lady's probably going to do a better job. Not always, but that's my experience. Just some stuff. And this doesn't happen all the time. She's a very positive person. She loves everybody. Everybody loves her. But maybe 3 times in our 15, 16-year relationship, we'll meet someone. She'll be like, I don't like that guy. I do not get a good vibe about it. And again, if she's constantly doing that, I'm like, okay, that's some sort of negative. That's not helpful, right? Like she's just a negative person. But because it's so infrequent and I just miss it, and thank God I got her, I pay attention, I steer clear. Obviously, if you're hiring or doing this, or engaging in any sort of meaningful relationship. So that's not a great feeling, but it does feel like intuition. Talk to me.
It is. That's another brilliant example of intuition. Our brains, our bodies, everything about us is working on a subliminal level as well. We think, oh, I'm hearing what this, okay, let's go back to the 5 senses, right? I see this person, he looks good. I hear this person, he's talking very intelligently. I know this person is friends with other people I know and respect. I should like him, I should trust him, I should maybe potentially even go into business with him. But everything inside of you is saying, something's off. That is intuition. And it's practice. Like all of these, it's you say to yourself, I am getting better at being intuitive. I'm getting better at picking up on these things.
I like that. I thought it was a have or don't have, which is silly because people come to me with will and intuition and reason,
memory,
imagination, memory. Yeah, they think it's have or don't have. Well, no, it's just a muscle. Like, yeah, I guess muscles don't have, but we can all build them. And some muscles build easier for them, and some they have to work harder. We can all have them. So All right. We are way over time, as Suzanne and I always go late, by the way. Before we start, she's like, how long do you got? Because I know we're going to go late. Let's end with this. I think with all of these, we are using these higher faculties. I think we just maybe think, and especially for you fellas, sorry to be sexist again, but I think the gals get this a little more. We think they're not that big of a deal. Just tell me what to do. If I do the right things, I'll get the right results, which is true. But without perception, will, intuition, memory, and using those effectively, you're really not going to know what the right things are, or when someone tells you the right thing, you won't know. So I think the big thing is just be intentional. And I would really encourage you, and please disagree if you found this to be not the case in your experience, Suzanne. This is such a community thing. I hate to be so strong, but I think it's almost impossible to build these in a vacuum. It is going to take a community, and it's going to take the right community. If you hang out with negative people, you'd have to just be so powerful mentally. And so it's almost like, if you have this, you can withstand negative people for longer. But if you don't have this muscle, trying to build it with a bunch of people, you want to you want to build muscle with a bunch of people drinking beer in their garage, you got to leave those people. It's just not. Or you could try and convince all 10 of them to come to the gym with you. Good luck. Alone, more possible, but boy, is it a son of a gun. With a community that gets it and is willing to help, far, far better. Now you got a real fighting chance. And then with a coach like Suzanne, someone that's trained to help build these skills, you know what I'm saying? I guess I go to the gym if I don't know what I'm doing without so if I hang out with bad people that won't go to the gym, I got no chance. If I try and whip myself into frenzy going to the gym with no one around, that's going to be tough. 90+% of the people aren't going to make it. If I go to the gym and I'm around other people that know stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I kind of ask this guy or that guy, and generally people willing to help, I could probably maybe figure it out. It's gonna be hard, but I got a fighting chance. And if I just hire a freaking guy that is muscular and low body fat and has shown dozens of people how to be muscular and low body fat, pretty good chance if I just do what he says, I'll get the results that I want. So these are happening. They are gonna, these little, I think the problem with the higher faculties, they don't show up. They're not, my bank account is this, the laws of my COVID land are that, this guy quit, this person said I'm not paying it, whatever goofy crap is going on, we can touch and feel. But perception and will, intuition, those are really the movers, but we don't see or feel them. So I think we downplay. Anything to add before we wrap it, girl?
Well, my intuition tells me to just send everybody some love and hugs for an amazing day.
Big virtual hugs for those of you on the YouTube. There you go. For those of you that are like, yeah, this all sounds great. Now you guys are, I don't even know where you live, or how do I tap in? growmycleaningcompany.com, tons of community, tons of free resources. Check it out. All free, growmycleaningcompany.com. See you there.
Thanks, Mike.
Well, here we are, the end of the podcast, and you made it. Great job. I've got a little bonus for you for sticking through with me, but like I mentioned before, if you got value out of this podcast and you want to show a little love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever the heck you're listening to this thing. Share with a friend, share the love. And as a special thank you for those of you that stuck with me to the end, how about I give you my personal phone number so we can text? It's a great way for me to get to know you, your business, your goals personally. So shoot me a text now, 602-932-6431. 602-932-6431. I am the only one who responds to these texts, and I will personally respond to everyone I possibly can as long as this number is manned. Don't know how long we're going to keep this at the end of the podcast, so grab it now. 602-932-6431. Give me a text, say hey, can't wait to meet you.